So we're looking at Coach Lesson 27 on probability today. And let's look at this first question. And it says, use the spinners for questions 1 and 2. If you spin the spinner 100 times, which of these is the best prediction for the number of times that 1 will land on both spinners? So on this one, I've got a 1 out of 5 times. And on this one, I've got a 1 out of 4 times. So you're going to take 1/5 and 1/4, and you're going to multiply those. And that gives you the probability of landing on these, both of these, as ones, 1 out of 20 times. So you take 100 times, put it into a proportion, 100 times that you spin those spinners, X here. And you can see here that if you multiply 20 by 5, you get 100. Do the same thing up here. 1 times 5 is 5. So 5 would be the correct answer there. Then looking at number 2, if you spin those spinners 100 times, what is the best prediction for the number of times that 3 will land on both spinners? So I've got 2 out of 5 is the probability of 3's over here. And then 3 out of 4 is the probability of landing on a 3 on this spinner. So again, you're going to multiply those. So that's going to be 6 out of 20. And that's going to simplify. Divide by 2, divide by 2. And that's going to be 3 out of 10. So you take that 3 out of 10. And again, we're spinning it 100 times. So 10 times 10 is 100. So do the same thing to the top, and that's 3 times 10, so that should be 30 there. And then number 3, Sonia wrote each letter of Tennessee on a separate index card in a box. She picked one letter at random, put the card back, and then repeated. If she repeated this experiment 90 times, what's the best prediction for the number of times that Sonia would pick an S? So we've got 2 S's out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 letters in Tennessee. So 2 S's out of 9 letters. She repeats the experiment 90 times. So 9 times 10 is 90. So do the same thing to the top. That's going to give us 20 there. Number 4, Carlos is conducting an experiment using coins. He will toss 3 coins to determine the probability of winning a game 2 out of 3 times. He decided that heads counts as a win and tails counts as a loss. If he conducts this experiment 160 times, which is the best prediction for the number of times that exactly 2 heads will land? So for myself, I'm going to use a tree diagram. And so the first coin is going to be the options of heads or tails. And then with the second one, we've got heads or tails here. And then we've got heads or tails there for the second coin. So this is the first coin, and this is the second coin. But we've got a third coin. So heads or tails here, heads or tails there, heads or tails there, heads or tails there. So I'm looking for places where I'm getting exactly 2. So I've got heads, heads, heads here. That's too many. That's 3 heads, so that's not an option. Then I've got heads, heads, and tails. So that's exactly 2 heads, so that's 1. Heads, tails, heads right here. That's exactly 2, so that one would work. Heads, tails, tails. That's only 1. That doesn't work. Tails, heads, heads. That's exactly 2. Tails, heads, tails. Nope. Tails, tails, heads. Nope. Tails, tails, tails. No. So I've got 3 favorable outcomes versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 possible outcomes. And we're going to do this experiment 160 times. And if you look here, that would be times 20. So then times 20, and that will give us 60 there. Number 5, if you toss 2 number cubes each with faces numbered 1 through 6, a total of 180 times, which is the best prediction for the number of times that you will get a sum of 6. I hope you see that keyword, sum of 6. So what I did here is I made myself a table, and we've got the first dice here and all its possibilities, and then the second dice this way with all its possibilities. So looking at here, I'm looking for a sum of 6. That means I've got to add the 2 numbers. So where I'm going to find that would be like 2 and 4, and then 3 and 3 will give me 6, and then 4 and 2 will give me 6, 1 and 5 will give me 6, and let's see, 5 and 1 will give me 6. If I add 6 to any of these numbers over here, that's going to be too much. And if I add 4 to 1, that's not enough. 4 to 2 is just right. 4 to 3 is too much. 2 and 1 is too small. 2 and 2 is too small. 2 and 3 is too small. 2 and 4 is just right. 2 and 5 is too big. So these are all the 6s that I can make as a sum from rolling these 2 dice. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 favorable outcomes. Now, here you've got 6 possible outcomes from this dice. You've got 6 possible outcomes from this dice. So 6 times 6 here is a 36. We've got 5 favorable over 36 possible total outcomes here. So then we take that. We're going to do that experiment 180 times. And I do not know what 36 times what number makes 180. So I'm going to do my proportion thing of cross multiply and divide. So 5 times 180, divide it by 36, and that gives me x is 25 there. Alright, last one. Number 6. There are 12 girls and 8 boys in Mrs. Sanders' class. Each day she randomly asked one student to take attendance in 180 school days, which is the best prediction for the number of times that the student will be a girl. So there's 12 girls, and that's the easy part. But what you've got to remember here is that the girls and the boys are together in the class. So you've actually got to add those 2 numbers, 12 and 8. So that's a 12 out of 20. Equals out of how many days? 180 days total in the school year. So how many times will the girls get to do it? I can see that 20 times 9 is 180. So then 12 times 9. It's not that one. It's not that one. It's not that one. It's that one. That's all we've got for probability from Coach Lesson 27. Hope this helped you. Let me know if you have further questions. Thank you for listening.